At the headwaters of the Yangtze, Zhou Ma believes that real change begins only when we appreciate our relationship with nature. We must learn to respect the natural world.
Everything is not belong to people only, but belong to all the living beings.
So you have to be respectful to all the beings and the environment.
Yeah.
Sun Jun is an artist. His dream is to build a countryside like the countryside itself.
这个木建筑当中，不用钉子，再不用钉子去敲了，就类似这样的建筑呢，它会防震。
With the increasing pressures of energy costs and environmental degradation, developing new energy vehicles has become a worldwide race. How long do you think it'll be before you're up at the world-class standard?
Give me another 5 or 10 years, I will be among the top level.
To realize the Chinese dream, China must be beautiful. This means that China must reverse the devastating pollution of its air, water, and land. China must respect the classical beauty of its ancient culture while exploring new kinds of contemporary beauty in its modern cities. I'm Robert Lawrence Kuhn. I've been coming to China for over 25 years. I wrote the book, How China's Leaders Think. I know China's leaders, I advise foreign companies in China, I give commentaries about China. I track the Chinese dream. In this episode of China's Challenges, I follow the Yangtze River from its headwaters to the sea, asking, can China be beautiful? The Yangtze River is the mother river of China. It is the third longest river in the world. The Yangtze River flows from west to east, transversing the country, passing through Shanghai and emptying into the East China Sea. The Yangtze embodies dreams of a beautiful China. But with the rapid development of the economy, the Yangtze River Basin, like much of China, is beset with environmental degradation, severe water pollution, and acrid, smoggy days. In my search for a beautiful China, I begin my journey high in the mountains near Tibet, where the headwaters of the mighty Yangtze River rise. Diqing Prefecture is located in the upper reaches of the Yangtze River, at the junction of Yunnan, Tibet, and Sichuan. Shangri-la is situated here. Over 30% of Shangri-la residents are Tibetan. The Kawakarpo Peak, almost 7,000 meters above sea level, is a holy site of Tibetan Buddhism. The Tibetan people have been worshiping it for thousands of years. Nearby, Atop the hill in this ancient town of Shangri-La is the temple where local residents chant for blessings. Suli Joama, born in the 1980s, is a member of the Karakarpo Culture Organization, an NGO that promotes Tibetan culture and environmental protection. I asked Joama to help me understand a little of Tibetan culture and the relationship Tibetans have with their environment.
So these are the prayer flags. This one has a horse carrying. What is it carrying?
The current treasure.
Treasures.
Yeah. In Buddhism, Tibetan Buddhism, we say the love, patience is the treasure.
I see.
Everyone have the treasure.
What does the Tibetan Buddhism understand about nature?
For us, the nature, the environment, not just the environment, but part of our life. Like we are really connected to each other very closely. So for our understanding, everything is not belong to people only, but belong to all the living beings.
So you have to be respectful to all the beings and the environment and the mountains, the trees, the insects. Everything is part of the whole system.
Yeah. Yes.
And unless you are respectful for that, then you will have trouble.
Yeah.
But if you are respectful, then you will have good circumstance.
Yes. Yeah, like this.
Walking one circle around the prayer wheel, the largest in China, is equivalent to chanting the scriptures, which are written inside repeatedly billions of times. Benzelen town, not far from Shangri-La, stands beside the Yangtze River. In ancient times, it was on the southern Silk Road. Wu Chi's family are Tibetans. Many senior citizens, like Wu Chi's father, still maintain a traditional lifestyle. They believe in animism, meaning that there are spirits in nature and the spirits must be respected. When Tibetan people build a house by cutting down trees, they pray that the mountain gods will not be angry. Wu Chi's family has lived on the Yangtze River for generations, their lives dependent on the waters and mountains.
从小就往钓鱼、游泳，这点玩，从小就相当大，7、8月份大到在这里边，相当大。
Every morning, Wu Chi's father dresses up and prays. He often goes to the local Tibetan Buddhist monastery, Dongjulin Temple, to worship. His religious belief is an essential part of his life. Wu Chi is head of the village. Every month, he leads a group of villagers to patrol the mountains, 50 kilometers from the village.
主要是能看出来的，还有那个打猎的有没有？还有那些森林有干了没有？有虫了没有？火有没有烧火？
Mei Li Snow Mountain, where Karakarpo Peak is located, is a tourist site. The majestic curve in the Yangtze River is a natural wonder. The local government, seeking to boost the economy, is developing tourism. Tourism threatens the environment.
那游客进来了以后，给我们带来了很多在经济上啊，带来了很多好的方面，但是呢，同时也带来了很多的垃圾。那游客他们喜欢喝矿泉水啊，喜欢吃巧克力啊，还有小型的包装的这些东西。
This is the village where Zhoma and her family live. Every day, Zhoma follows her traditional Tibetan customs. But the village is in transition. Giant machines stand here and the road is being widened. The nearby holy mountains are being dug and cut for tunnels and roads. Tibetans believe that the mountains are spiritual, so they should not be disturbed by humans.
老年人这些们说们，山上这些们要烧香，好好的要保护们人，什么都，生活那些上会好呢。这些会说的嘛，过去老人们啊。现在们年纪人上这些说们老是听不进去哦。我呀，你讲挖随便挖了嘛。上这种挖。
Xiao Ma is one of the founders of the Karakopo Culture Organization. He established this NGO to protect traditional Tibetan culture.
他那种传统文化里就是掠夺自然资源，这个就是很谨慎的，这是非常谨慎的。比如我父亲那一辈，他不会去追求我要穿得非常好这样的，我们要住得非常富丽堂皇，不会这样的，吃得简单，穿得简单，住得简单。那么这样的，他就折射出他的一种行为，他不会那种有非常强的那种欲望去控制，去得到物质的东西，或者说去掠夺那种自然资源，这样的都是相辅相成的，然后发展的速度会缓慢一点，它的那种东西是相关联的。
The organization is 15 years old. They're in the process of building new offices, using the old wood to respect their tradition. Many organizations cooperate with Karakopo to protect the environment and preserve Tibetan culture. As night falls, Joma's village enlivens. The villagers dress in Tibetan clothing and dance the xianzi. Karakopo is making great efforts to preserve this dance. Moreover, by preserving Tibetan culture, which respects nature and limits its exploitation, Karakopo believes they are protecting the environment.
Does this tradition give you a deeper kind of roots in wanting to protect the environment, because pollution is a huge problem today?
We feel the environment are part of our life. We are just like friends. For me, I think the more important thing is your thoughts and your heart. Because air pollution and destroy environment is because we are still feel we are already rich, but we want more and more. That make things become like very worse.
But China's western regions are not all rural. And there are many challenges in creating beautiful cities. I follow the Yangtze River downstream to the great city of Chengdu. Chengdu has 14 million people, and it is the capital of Sichuan province. Chengdu plays a vital role in West China's development. But compared with China's rich eastern coastal areas, China's western inland areas are relatively poor. Chengdu has many rivers. It is rich in resources and since ancient times has been called the land of abundance. It is also the home of the panda. Influenced by traditional Taoism, China's indigenous religion, Chengdu residents are known for taking their time to enjoy life. Everything they do, everything they use isn't just for practical purposes. Chengdu is not like Beijing, Shanghai, and other fast-paced cities. Chengdu prospered on waters. Now Chengdu is undergoing an economic transformation, making it a wealthy city. Most Chinese cities lack abundant water resources. How can Chengdu keep the balance between city development and water protection? In Chengdu, there is a local organization called Chengdu Urban Rivers Association. Established in 2004, it focuses on urban development and the river, protecting water resources.
你好。
哎，你好。
你好，你好。
你好，你好。
What's Robert Q? Nice to meet you.
我是旭轩。哎，你好，你好。
感谢见面。
这是我们同事明九。
Hey, Robert, 你好。
你好，你好。
Well, because we'll be taking a look at the Funan rivers. This photo was taken in the 80s, so they went on a field trip to look at pollution in the Funan river. So you see all these dirty water pouring in, and this girl, you look at how she's like covering her mouth. We realized that water quality had not substantially improved, and because we don't have that, that's why Cura was founded in 2003 to continue kind of pushing for the improvement to the city's rivers by focusing on rural areas, because that's where pollution was coming from.
So it's a comprehensive approach to pollution.
Right.
Yeah. Let's go see the river.
All right, let's go.
Let's go.
Bye-bye.
The Fu River and Nan River are Chengdu's main rivers. They join in the city center to form the Funan River. It flows through the whole city. Not many years ago, these rivers were massively polluted, extremely dirty and smelling foul. That's when the Chengdu Urban Rivers Association began its work.
How do you test the river? What do you actually do?
Basically, we have some equipment that can help us seek out some indicators that are important to understanding the health of the river. So for example, this one allows us to test for electrical conductivity of the water.
And you would assume that upstream you would have better quality because the pollution flows all downstream.
Right.
So you get an increasingly greater concentration.
You do, and which is why we think it's very important that we are safeguarding water quality here, because eventually it's going to make its way downstream to Wuhan, to Shanghai, to all these places along the Yangtze River.
我们从源头抓起，就是说，府南河的水它是来自于城市上游，那么城市上游的农村，我们在那里做了8年的一个持续的一个工作，让这个流向城市的水更干净、更安全。
On March 22nd, World Water Day, Sichuan and Li Mingju take citizens to a drinking water plant. In the afternoon, they take them to Anlong Village.
因为刚才我们在参观六厂的时候，其实梁经理也有介绍到，这个六厂它的很多的一些污染物它是没有办法，而我们想要说的是，可不可以 从源头解决污染问题，我们是不是可以改变农村农民的这种生活生产方式，让他们不把污染物放到水里头？这个农村的这种东西就比较困难。
In Anlong Village, using pesticides is discouraged. A purely green way to grow vegetables without pesticides is the norm. The goal is to prevent soil and water pollution.
刚开始做的时候，就是菜籽都被虫吃来不像样子，而且菜品相很不好看。最近几年，我们就是用大蒜水啊，把那个虫卵的那个有害菌给杀死。
After several years, green growing is paying off. Attacking river pollution from the villages upstream has finally improved urban water quality. But there are many sources of water pollution, and Chengdu works to assure clean water and to preserve the natural beauty of the rivers that run through the city. Clean waters are essential for the beauty of cities. But for China to be a beautiful country, beauty must also be brought to the countryside. Seeking beautiful China in rural areas, I follow the Yangtze further downstream to Hubei province, roughly the middle reaches of this magnificent continental river. Hubei province is a transport hub in China's central region. The Han River, the largest branch of the Yangtze, runs through Hubei. But Hubei's economy is not highly developed, especially in rural areas. So how to bring beauty to the countryside? Sun Jun is an artist who for several years has been working in Ying Taogou village. Living in the city makes Sun Jun want to find Chinese traditional culture. His dream is to build the countryside like the countryside itself.
这边将来是一个大院子，中间一棵树。对。
非常有意思，
很有意思哈。再过1年你来看，这个地方就会很漂亮了。对，
明白。
对，它需要一年，还需要1年时间。对。
Sun Jun has a clear vision. Even the building materials reflect his respect for tradition and natural beauty.
300年
，300年，
对，300年了，对。拆了太可惜。这是来自于中国苏州。
苏州。
对，这个原来都是在脚上面在上走的。对，大。买了，用船、用火车运了很久很久才运过来，很费劲。但是我们还是想把这些文化和这些历史，这些东西呢，能够把它保留下来。
About 420 families, 1,600 people live in Ying Taogou village. Because it's located in the upstream branches of the Yangtze, Sun Jun selected this village to protect its ecological system.
Why is working on this village and villages in general so important to you?
我是画家，因为画家常年应该还是在自然当中写生啊，你突然会发现，我所追求的艺术，和乡村的那种文化和文明，它非常相近。这个近就是指的真， 就它很真。所以这个仅仅是这个真，它吸引着我，一直往这条路去走，找到那种真，找到这种我们中国农耕文明的那个脉，或者找到文化的那个源头，是这股力量一直让我往前在走。
家具，
对，家具他们全部打开，
基本完了，暂时基本完了，
快接近尾声了。
Sun Jun's idea was to reconstruct houses here. Initially, his plan was not accepted by villagers.
开始确实话也想不通，最后呢，人家给我给的，确实满意的。开始我们确实搬到原乡，我也想不通，我的原乡也原来稀里哗哗的，最后搬了人家给我搞的，那说实话，这种你意想不到的东西，人家都搞出来了。
Villager Liu is over 50 years old. His house was built in the 1980s. He is one of the first villagers who followed Sun Jun's suggestion to rebuild the house. Now he rents farm stay rooms in his house, providing extra income for his family.
你看像这样的房子，所有建筑的这样一个缝，它都保留做得很细，像这个上面的东西，都把它保留下来了。这个木建筑当中，不用钉子，再不用传统，不用那种现在的钉子，全是用的。再不用钉子去敲了，就类似这样的建筑呢，它会防震，地震过以后，它不会轻易的去倒塌和开裂，所以呢，这种建筑呢也是，中国最传统的建筑，现在已经很少人就用了。这个地方还挺好看。
However, Sun Jun's vision to build a beautiful countryside still faces challenges. Will funds be secured? Will he get government support? Can villagers benefit from reconstruction? Along with Sun Jun, I speak with a county official.
How does it work financially for them? You representing the county, how much does the government subsidize? How do they get the funding for it?
我们是采取3个1点，第一个呢是农户自筹1点。当然农户要自筹的一大部分，然后政府补贴1点，然后村里支持1点。
Are there any other villages in the county that have this same vision?
因为现在的精力有限嘛，每年启动60个，计划在5、6年之内，把这样的理念带到各个村庄去。
Sun Jun's vision to build a beautiful countryside is to combine architecture with the natural environment. Yanhe village, not far from Ying Taogou village, has become Sun Jun's model of success.
We 当时呢在汉江地区选的一个就长江支流当中的支流，就从源头开始做保护，这样呢和政府合作开始做污染处理、土壤改良、有机农业、资源分类、村集体经济、村民自治，等等一系列的乡村生态和文化修复的工作。
Why does Sun Jun dream of a beautiful countryside?
因为毕竟我是生活在北京和乡村这2个过程当中，追求的一种我自己就想要的东西。我想要的东西，就是我想的记忆中的东西。一个中国普通人想要的东西，就是人和人之间亲近一点，人和人之间道德观呢，能再朴实一点。
What Sun Jun is doing is laudable, but China has 600,000 villages. How on earth can Sun Jun's model be applied to the whole of China? I continue my journey following the Yangtze, culminating in the massive Yangtze River Delta where it empties into the East China Sea. Centered in Shanghai, the Yangtze River Delta may have the world's largest concentration of adjacent urban areas. 115 million people in an area of about 100,000 square kilometers. But with all Shanghai's achievements, city administrators must face the environmental challenges affecting people's lives, like thick, noxious smog and mountains of rotting garbage. How can Shanghai achieve its dream of a low-carbon economy? The Shanghai International Marathon is a major event. But the smog that day brought about much complaining. In 2013, Shanghai broke records, but not ones the city is proud of. The most days ever of dangerous air pollution. Vehicle emissions are a primary cause. With the increasing pressures of energy costs and environmental degradation, developing new energy vehicles has become a worldwide race. Here in Shanghai's Pudong district is the manufacturing base of Shanghai Automotive Industrial Corporation, SAIC, China's largest auto manufacturer. For Shanghai Auto, new energy vehicles are a high priority, and this is the production line of the pure electric car E50 and hybrid vehicle 550. I speak with Injur Chow, an engineer.
Whole car E50 was built here.
Oh, how many do you make per month?
For now, it's 1,000.
How far can it go on a charge?
When we finish a full charge, it can run for 150 kilometers.
Shanghai Auto's plug-in vehicle made its public debut in 2013 at the Guangzhou Auto Show. The man checking out every new energy vehicle at the auto show is Zhu Jun. He runs Shanghai Auto's new energy vehicle technology subsidiary.
So you can see here we have...
I meet Zhu at Shanghai Auto.
Which is the most difficult of the different components of an electrical vehicle to really make it even more commercial?
Right now, the biggest challenge for me is cost. A conventional car, average car, I mean family car in China is selling about 100,000 RMB. If we are doing an electric car, we need maybe 200,000. If you want to make profit, you have to selling at more than 200,000. So that's the problem.
In Jiading's automotive city, I tried driving the new technology car.
There's a charger side. This is this side.
So we have to know which side is not vehicle.
This is the vehicle side.
Okay, got it.
Okay, charger.
And now we open this one? Okay, just push it. Okay. Done.
Done.
Okay.
Now starting. Now it's charging.
Okay,
This
okay.
is charging.
And what is this giving me?
This is money. This is electricity in terms of kilowatt hours.
And how many kilowatt hours do you need to fill?
Normally, if it's empty battery, I need 7 to 8. Complete empty, I need 10 yuan. I need.
Oh. That's pretty cheap. So even at this speed, it's all battery.
All battery. You can drive up to 120, 130 kph.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah, electrically.
Oh, I didn't know that. It's just the acceleration.
Yeah.
If you put heavy acceleration, then the...
Yeah. Or there's if automatic sense the steep slope.
Oh, I see.
This is Shanghai Auto's new energy labs. The core components of new energy vehicles are developed here.
This is a battery controller, we call the BMS, battery management system. It's quite complicated.
Exemplifying the importance of new energy vehicles, after Shanghai Auto founded its technology subsidiary in 2009, the government invested 2 billion yuan for R&D.
How long do you think it'll be before you're up at the world-class standard?
Give me another 5 or 10 years, I will be among the top level. I'm proud that our first electrical vehicle and the first plug-in hybrid vehicle is already in the market. Right now, we are ramp up our manufacturing capacity to meeting the market requirements. That's thanks to the government policies that they are subsidize purchasing and usage.
Shanghai Auto is going further beyond electric and hybrid cars. Wang Chendong is responsible for advanced technology research. One achievement is a hydrogen car with 0 emissions.
Basically, it's the air coming and the hydrogen coming, so they have a chemical reaction. So the chemical reaction create the electricity. So use electricity to drive the motor. Like this design can go about 300 kilometers. And then we can reach 150 kilometers per hour maximum speed.
Priced at 750,000 RMB now, the hydrogen car is expected in the market soon. Wang had been studying and working in the U.S. for almost 20 years. After receiving his PhD at the University of Michigan, he worked at both NASA and Ford. In 2008, he returned to China to work at Shanghai Auto and to realize his dream.
In the United States, I'm still young, and then actually I have been, in a kind of routine life. I feel something, in my heart hasn't been really developed yet. And China has been, developing so fast. And then I believe, in this area I can get a lot of opportunity and can get a good platform and really can help me to realize my dream.
China's new leaders call for the construction of ecological civilization. This is good news for new energy vehicles and a boost for the dream makers to realize their dreams. In May 2014, President Xi Jinping visited Shanghai Auto's number 10 lab. He wanted to learn and to inspire. To encourage sales of new energy vehicles, Shanghai City is now committed to building a large number of charging stations. Shanghai's aggressive goal is that by 2020, all new cars will be carbon neutral. But it's not just air pollution that's making the city unpleasant. Shanghai is also beset with garbage. With a population of more than 24 million people, every day Shanghai must deal with more than 20,000 tons of waste. Laogang is Shanghai's solid waste treatment plant. It was constructed in the 1980s and is the size of several football fields. Containers with garbage line up along the wharf. All are shipped from Shanghai's city center. Zhen Kazhen is a barge sailor. Piloting his barge on Shanghai's inland waterways, carrying shiploads of daily wastes from the wharf to Laogang.
那个时候运输它简陋，设施不够，过去散装的卸在那个甲板上，然后呢，它这个稍许不当心就漏了这个黄浦江啊，漏了这个内河啊，这个对这个水域啊，它就产生了污染。现在就没这个事了，现在完全是封闭的，对这个社会上，对这个码头上，都很干净净的。
Every day, about 200 containers arrive, altogether around 3,200 tons of garbage. I speak with the lead engineer. He's been working here for many years.
这个我们看到那个船只呢是500吨的，它是存放着是24只箱子。我们300吨的箱子，船只呢是承担的是16只的箱子进行运输。我们通过这个我们的桥吊进行运输了以后呢，我们就是分2个区域，一个呢就是经过我们的综合填埋场，我们每天承担的将近2000吨的这个填埋的任务量。一个呢，我们通过我们进入我们的刚才看到的一个焚烧厂，我们3级6的焚烧厂。
What about the toxic smells and the effluent coming from the burning? Does that affect local residents? Do they complain?
我们4台炉子全部开来了以后呢，我们整个异味的那个气体呢，全部吸收到整个炉子里面去进行运作，所以呢，对外界呢造成的影响呢是极微的，可能是很小很小。
This is the Renewable Resources Treatment Center in Laogang. It's called renewable because during the treatment of solid wastes, energy is generated, captured, and recycled. The garbage is burned and electricity is produced. But can facilities keep ahead of the mounting needs? All across China, garbage is growing. Can pollution reduction technologies make a real difference? All along the Yangtze River, pollution is severe and potentially catastrophic. Industrial waste dumped into rivers. Blue-green algae outbreaks in lakes. Even dead pigs float down the Huangpu River. Indeed, the whole of China is right now facing an environmental crisis. But an increasingly irate public is finally forcing a change. The government has been coerced to take action. A new environmental protection law, the strictest in history, takes effect in 2015. But can laws alone solve the multifaceted, seemingly intractable curse of environmental degradation? At the headwaters of the Yangtze, Zhou Ma believes that real change begins only when we appreciate our relationship with nature. We must learn to respect the natural world. Xu Xuan and Li Mingzhou think it's about civil engagement and the collective actions of ordinary people. We must work together to enhance awareness and enable change. Sun Jun works to combine art, architecture, and human living space so that China can build a beautiful countryside. And at the mouth of the Yangtze River, where the waters of China flow into the sea, Zhu Jun advances science and applies technology to bring about a cleaner and more beautiful country. All of them in their own ways are probably right, but there are risks. Perhaps environmental compliance cannot be achieved without damaging the economy. Perhaps pollution hits a tipping point and goes out of control. China's President Xi Jinping puts the grand vision of the Chinese dream as the great rejuvenation of the Chinese nation. That rejuvenation must include the environment. The Chinese people are watching, quite literally watching the waters and the skies. To realize the Chinese dream, China must be beautiful.